democracy. General Gabriel Jokriak pays tribute to martyrs and war veterans. In consultations on the number of states and their boundaries concludes in Wow State. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to SSBC Broadcasting live from Juba. I'm Elizabeth Akoldemalat taking you through the news. President Kiir has called on the people of South Sudan to set aside the greed for power and return the country to democracy where people elect their leaders through the ballot box. In his message to mark the 36th anniversary of the SPLM Day, President Kiir said the current peace agreement grants all the parties the opportunity to work together in good faith until elections. Kiir said the vision for which thousands lost their lives is now finally realized.
Today marks 36 years since the founding of the Sudan People's Liberation Army movement. On this historical occasion, I want to congratulate the people of South Sudan in general and the men and women of the South Sudan People's Liberation, South Sudan People's Defense Force, and SPLM in particular. As we commemorate this important national day, it is important that we pay respect to our fallen heroes and heroines. More especially, we are eternally indebted to the memory of our late leader, Dr. John Garang de Mabior. Comrade Kerbino Kwanyinbol, Comrade William Nwanbany, and Comrade Joseph Udoho, and all the fallen founding members of our great movement. Compatriots, in commemorating the founding of the SSPFDF, this year, I have a simple message. I want to remind my comrades in the SPLM and those in various positions, opposition groups, that the vision for which we offered our lives is now realized. We have a country, we have set up a government, and we are fully in control of our destiny. However, our people are now suffering deadly violence in our own hands as we seek self-fulfillment. We have completely abandoned our vision and we have turned against our people and preying on them. We are selling the country for which millions have died. Majority of our people are now living in poverty. Enough is enough. Let us set aside the greed for power, stabilize our country, and return to democracy, and give our people a chance to live in a country they deserve. The fighting that has engulfed our country over the last 5 years is extremely petty because it is a struggle for power. We took arms against Khartoum-based governments so as to establish a democratic system. Now we are against democracy and we are preoccupied with attempts to seize power violently or using other non-conventional shortcuts. The way to stability in South Sudan is through democracy and democratic elections, and this is what we fought for, and we will not compromise it. Violent attempts to usurp power from the people would of course be met with violent resistance, and the cycle of violence cannot end. The peace agreement we have just signed provides the opportunity for all the parties to work in good faith to implement it, and at the end of the transitional period is the election. We should invest all our resources in making sure that we succeed in this transition. And the next government after the transition is by the will of the people through internationally supervised elections. Unless one has no confidence in his or her ability to persuade the voters, we should all stand for democratic elections, and those defeated should prepare for the next round. This is the principle of democracy. When power is sought outside the institution of democracy, it leads to violence. Division and hatred. It leads to violence, division and hatred. Power gained through legitimate means is peaceful, rewarding, and dignifying. Although democracy is not perfect, it allows for the building of consensus and provisions of rights, including minority rights. Democracy is simply a system of government based on compromise, where those who are in the majority accept the choice of the majority. In fact, the majority is not permanent because people always defect. And so in another election cycle, those who were once in a majority may become a minority, and a new majority takes power. This is what is so assuring about democracy. No one loses permanently, and no one wins indefinitely. All things depend on the interest and the will of the majority. This is the path we choose in 2010 to go for elections, and another election was due in 2015. But those who think violent usurpation of power is the shortcut ruin this opportunity and drag the whole country into war in pursuit of self-gratification. We have now seen seeking power in this way is not viable and not tenable. Compatriots, having said this, I want to once again reiterate that I have wholeheartedly forgiven those who orchestrated the use of violence to seek power, and I equally call upon you to forgive them. The agreement we have in front of us has reconciled all the differing views, and we need to implement it with trust and confidence in us. Let us now return to the path of democracy so as not to delay the development of our country. We should abandon investing in power wrangling. Instead, we should all invest in peace and democracy and spread the benefits of freedom, and independence to our people who deserve so much more from us. If we work together, we all win and live a dignified life in our country. When we fight, we all lose, and we bring shame to our country and ourselves. I believe strongly that South Sudan could rise as a dominant economic force in the region and in the continent. All we need is peace and democracy to achieve this. We should all serve a higher purpose, that of making South Sudan a prosperous and peaceful nation, which comes with the benefit of leading dignified nation. May the spirit of our liberation live on and guide us to prosperity. Thank you very much.
Moving on, the first Vice President Taban Dengai congratulates the Commander-in-Chief of the South Sudan People's Defense Force and Supreme Commander of all the other organized forces on the 36th anniversary of the SPLA Day. Here's the full text. On the occasion marking the 36 years of the founding of the SPLM, the Chief of South Sudan People's Defense Forces, General Gabriel Jokriak, paid tribute to martyrs and war veterans. General Jok called on the public to cooperate with the security organs as they carry out their national duties.
On behalf of the gallant revolutionary forces, the SPLA, now SSPDF, I would like to pass my gratitude to all the martyrs, wounded, and their families alike for the joyful celebration of this very bearing future day. And not forgetful of the surviving servicemen and women. A lucha continua, and victory was certain because of you, no doubt. This same day was a momentous day that the dedicated compatriots unwaveringly decided their fate as direction as well. The national constitution has enshrined roles, duties, and responsibilities for the national army, the SSPDF, to sacrificially carry out and throughout the period of their service. Hence, the entire SSPDF are obligated to defend and maintain territorial integrity of the country, while equally providing full and adequate protection to the people and their properties without any prejudice. So to the members of the public, the SSPDF expects you to be cooperating with the security organ by avoiding misunderstanding and give complete adherence to any measures laid down by the concerned organs.
The National Transitional Legislature has recognized the role of the South Sudan People's Defense Force in peace building, which led to the signing of the revitalized peace agreement. Speaker Anthony Lino Makana made the remark in a statement on the celebration of the 36th anniversary of the SPLA, which is now called South Sudan People's Defense Force. Speaker Anthony praised South Sudan People's Defense Force for protecting the lives of civilians and their property and urged them to do more on their future assignments.
His speech on behalf of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly on the occasion of the 36th anniversary of the SPLA Day, 16 May 2019. Fellow countrymen and fellow countrywomen, allow me on behalf of the Transitional National Legislature and on my own behalf to congratulate His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit the President of the Republic of South Sudan and the Commander-in-Chief of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces on the occasion commemorating the 36th anniversary of the glorious revolution spearheaded by the SPLM-SPLA on 16th May 1983 in Bor Town in Jonglei State. This day is historic because it honors the historic compatriots who holistically devoted their very best in the history of our nation. This event not only commemorates the epic of our national struggle for freedom and independence, but it also reflects the commitments of a marginalized African people to liberate themselves from marginalization, slavery, illiteracy, poverty, and diseases. Fellow countrymen and fellow countrywomen, since its inception, the SPLM-SPLA demonstrated revolutionary zeal, provided field command, and pioneered military and civil administration throughout the hard years of the liberation struggle, which culminated in the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in 2005 and eventual independence of South Sudan in July 2011. The SPLM-SPLA has always been keen to meet the aspirations of the people of South Sudan of building a strong pillar that will hold and advance a cohesive society for all South Sudanese, which makes everyone proud to belong to this nation. The Transitional National Legislature commends the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs for undertaking reforms in the Army, including renaming the SPLA to South Sudan People's Defense Force. The Transitional National Legislature also acknowledges the contribution of SSPDF to peace building, which led to the signing of the revitalized Agreement on the Resolution of Conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. Furthermore, the Transitional National Legislature commends the various government organs, including the South Sudan People's Defense Force, that are working hard to restore law and order and for defending the territorial integrity of our country, South Sudan. We commend them for protecting the lives of the civilians and their properties from the menace of the unknown gunmen, and we urge them to do more in their future assignment. Finally, I would like to seize this opportunity to pay homage to our fallen heroes and heroines who sacrificed their lives for the future generation to enjoy freedom and prosperity. Long live Dr. John Garang Dimobior, long live General Salva Kiir Mayardit, long live the people of South Sudan.
The SPLM Youth League has congratulated South Sudanese on the 36th anniversary of the SPLM South Sudan People's Defense Day. The chairperson of the league, Daniel Abosha Ali, paid tribute to the late Dr. John Garang Dimobior, as well as to the fallen and war-wounded heroes and heroines for paying the ultimate price for the liberation of South Sudan. He appealed to the youth to rally behind the SPLM-led government in implementing the revitalized peace agreement for the country to prosper and realize full freedom and justice.
On behalf of SPLM Youth, we are delighted and have the most distinct honor to register our utmost congratulations to His Excellency General Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic, Chairman of SPLM, and Commander-in-Chief of SSBC and all the organized forces, on this occasion marking the 36th anniversary of our Revolutionary Party and Gallant Forces, the SSBC. On the same note, we categorically salute our martyrs for their sacrifices and whose precious blood have cemented our national foundation. On top of them, late Comrade Dr. Garang Dimobior. We also appreciate the efforts of our wounded heroes and heroines for their relentless contributions towards the quest for our hard-won independence. Equally, The SPLM Youth League congratulates and thanks our civil population, both inside and outside South Sudan, for their firm stand behind the revolutionary movement and the SSPDF since 1983 up to today. Your party, the SPLM, will always strive to meet your aspirations as it has always done. Today, the 16th of May, reminds the citizens of South Sudan about the unity of purpose portrayed by all Southerners and friends of the movement towards the quest for independence. It also reminds us of the painful experience on the historical journey for 21 years of liberation struggle. It reminds us of our foundation as a country. Therefore, we call upon all the citizens of South Sudan to reflect on this historical background by exhibiting the spirit of national unity and peaceful coexistence. We also urge all the youth to rally behind the SPLM-led government. The SPLM will always do its best to lead the people of South Sudan towards justice, liberty, and prosperity for all. We would like to extend our appreciation to His Excellency, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, for personally committing to the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. We are grateful for the remarkable speech on the opening session of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly, in which he reassured the public on his commitment towards implementation of peace agreement to the letter and spirit. The SPLM Youth League reassure their support and unshakable stand behind His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic, and the entire leadership of the country towards the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement.
This is SSBC News. Let's go for a break. Stay with us. President Kiir calls on South Sudanese to set aside the greed for power and return the country to the democracy. General Gabriel Diokriak pays tribute to martyrs and war veterans. And consultations on the number of states and their boundaries concludes in Wow stage. You're welcome back from that break. Moving on, South Sudan delegation headed by the Deputy Minister of Information, Communication Technology and Postal Services, Lily Albino Akolakol, participated in the Transformation Africa Summit in the Rwandan capital, Kigali. Transform Africa, also known as Smart Africa Summit, was held under the theme Connect Innovation and Transform. The summit concentrated on boosting digital economy and creating a single digital market in the region. In his key opening remarks, the Rwandan President Paul Kagame called upon African leaders to work together to transform the continent to a modern society. The delegation returned to Juba on Thursday.
Smart Africa for organizing the Transform Africa Summit and bringing together an impressive range of partners, innovators, and policymakers. I wish you every success in this critical Pan-African responsibility. We are in the era of the digital economy. Remaining behind is not an option anymore for Africa. Economic transformation and prosperity require mastery of technology. Now is the time to build the necessary infrastructure and skills in Africa. There is a great deal at stake for our continent, which is why Africa governments came together to establish Smart Africa in the first place, with the private sector as a key partner.
A consultative meeting organized by Independent Boundaries Commission to seek public opinion on the number of states, their boundaries, as well as on the composition and restructuring of the Council of States, concluded in Wall State on Tuesday. Jonah attended the forum.
The Independent Boundaries Commissions on the South Sudan was established under the Article 1, Chapter 15, Section 1 of the Revitalized Peace Agreements on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, to consider the number of the states, their boundaries and composition, as well as the restructurings of the Council of the States. The consultation target communities, representatives, youth, peace-based organizations, business communities, and civil society groups. Speaking to the media, the heads of Independent Boundaries Commission teams, Mr. Edwards, described the meeting as a great opportunity as public view were all put into considerations, which he said would help the IBC to file its final reports on the public needs.
The number and boundaries of states for South Sudan, as well as the appropriate number of the Council of States has been finished in WOW, and we appreciate the discussions that we've had. They have been very enriching, very deep, profound in terms of the ideas that have been coming in, and we really appreciate that they've been very open, friendly, and full wisdom of the people that we engage with.
Meanwhile, the governor of WOW State, Angelo Taban, said it is time for South Sudanese to work for peace across the country, and described the consultations as the good gesture to bring the peace.
The Revitalized Peace Agreement, it is mentioned there that there will be a formation of IBC as independent body to come and they consult the whole population in WOW or in the whole state in South Sudan. And it is our task today here to meet with the team.
The chief representative, Nyal Chan Nyal, said there was need for additional more states in the country. On behalf of her colleague, Nyayab Manuel expressed concerns over women representations on the leadership position.
That we respect the borders of 1956, so I'll leave it at that. And I think the suggestion for the members to answer of the states is clear. Now, I think the only thing that is missing, and this is what I've been sitting, while I was sitting, I was actually thinking about it. If it turned out that 32 states are sustained or more are created, we are also asking as women that within those states, our representation must be respected as per our constitutional rights.
The consultation that brought together different delegates from the states of Barghazal in WOW seeks public opinions and perspective of their preference on the number of the states. For SSBC News, I am John.
The Deputy Chairperson of Independent Boundaries Commission, Adamu Shindo, has described a meeting to seek public views and opinions on the number of states and their boundaries as inclusive. The team sought the views of women and youth groups, civil society, faith-based organizations, as well as traditional leaders in Yei River State on the number of states and their borders. Representatives of youth Samuel Ade and of the Islamic Council Sheikh Ali spoke to media on what transpired during the meeting this week.
And we're here purposely to get your opinion, recommendation and suggestions on the number of boundaries of states. In particular, I want to, how many states do you think South Sudan should have in view of the predicaments South Sudan is in? That is, where from 10 states we have 32 states. We want your sincere views so that we can make a recommendation that won't be annexed. It has been the intention of the IBC to get the views of the grassroots, if possible, visit all the states. But because of the time,
we are meant to be a state. We have all the capacity, we have the human resource, we have the brain. In terms of agriculture, we have vast land, and our youth, in most cases, they are expert in terms of agriculture. The area production, when you look at Morobo, you look at Yei, you look at the Lujulo, and the site also of Torre, the highest level of production comes from these places.
If other people are opposed to the idea of the 32 states, let them talk for themselves. If they want to kill their states, let them talk for themselves. For us, we are very happy to have a state, and we are able to continue. We have the ability to remain as Yei River State.
Anna ze Nazarib ita Yei River State. Anna de tate tude talato tala ajeri itinunu teletinde. Anna de state de kerikun itinunu teletinde. Asanna bi istaka shokotana dat sanna bi istaka lukuli sawa sawa ina.
That's all we have for you this 17th of May. Have a good afternoon.
Hi, welcome to Let Us Know. This is me, your presenter, Lado Wadengeda. In our today's program, we are glad to host Mr. Peter Atem, who is a member of Red Army. He was ex-Red Army and is still a member of Red Army. He's going to talk to us about the importance of 16 May. Mr. Atem, welcome to our program, and could you please tell us what does 16 May mean to you?
16 May, Comrade Warden and people of South Sudan, we greet all of you, name of the SPLA, SPLM, people who fought for this country, suffering and fighting without money, no food, no whatever. We have been called comrades, and that thing is a wonderful day. And that day we celebrated in the SPLA area a long time ago. Some years without water, no whatever, no food. It's a day people of South Sudan tell Arab enough is enough. And that day is the one who make our parliament. And that day is one who give our president. And that day is one who bring our army and our all police. And that day is one bring our freedom. And that day it's not a joke. It's a good day. You know, that day, when you're making that day a long time ago in the SPLA area, there is song for the land, no name of Salva Kiir or no name of John Garang. You sung that song from 8 to 9. I sung to Nadal. Maba Sam Dado Bukudupoko. Yala mean 10, the night to put a song with a jet another Manadilin, the Comrade John Garang, Salva Kiir, William Nwanben, Arok Tonarok, everyone, you can think them. And because you motivate them by that song, because you can do more, you get motivation because you make your leader to be proud too, that they are doing a good job. That thing, that song, you can put that one, put everyone name. And it's a good day. That day, you Mazika Tana Budugu, but the SPLA, Mazika Budugu, I am Mazika Budugu Awal. Mazika Dugu, Yala Ghana, Soria, be Moral, be Hajar Katir, Unat Bamul Monorada Askaria, Unat Bamul Monorada Askaria, not Bamul Sabur, Sabur can enter and Bamul Animdugu Atal Kapachang. I'm a youth of Gabajanga, it's a Budugu, there's a good all. Madame Ujuma, it's a Bamun Misilat Buddha Matonina, wait a Bamu Tactic, and of Talabara, Kantagam, ready to Bamu Cave, Yella Bamunaga, Yellow Kulubamuri, the Domanal Kangamulo. And Tabu, command number 2 is a Bamul Bien, Masira. And Masira, then Masira, Tabura Hadi at Bamulo. Kami tabra hari tetap jamur Al-Matian. Dalam Matian ini selalu dari tetap jamur Matian. Dan mana jadi tak ada magamu tidak ini kan kamu le. Magamu tabra hari itu. Betul mana ada tetap jamur Matian. Matian bamu. Ya lah mina dia ya dia tidak kon cara bamu dah sih.
Atem kenapa biasa dah? Ya, if I could ask you, hanya ini terbagai zikir di zaman tadi dan legume dah selama organisasi.
أنا بذكر فوق أنا ذا I love rally of the SPLA. When the SPLA went to Ethiopia, another Carbino Kandu Salaf Medina Bor William Yuan Payut and Mia Counter Mia Arba Morana Tiger to South Jammu Moro. Ya koryam jaro mormor anu kala cakal kala bidani mabala cakal but anu bezakar request al wujud kadir na amalna wotab ne logo fogo ajana ma ne zero de tap panyundo dama na rakal mafi ne ro na ga sara wala kal wala juno wala ajatani da gaba ka sake wala malnum da maka dona kamsan na ne jamura ya kale ne ja survive in different way. Dama dak yal katir matu, dijata ji janamar, ukot akal makan. Udol bamul bakar kita gul bakar tay, unda kan bakar dede, tan gul alam mama tabamul kasra dede. Ila kandul beramul kalam dede gul amu diaw. This is why the bad day I will not forget it, but they issued another. Because freedom they might easy. You might pay the price. And then someday when you win the war, you come happy. And I win there's some war we win in Kapota, another war we win in this one called the war of Mamadi Gale, and other Parjog, whatever, blah, blah. And we win that war because Mamadi Gale, I'm not a kingdom, Mother Talabacharia. But win that war, Yom Tabakaya, Charwai, Yom Kamis, 96. We win that war, but we lost a lot of people. That day, we lost 300. So their four died, and Morgan got in. And that day, I remember we win the victory, and did the end of it.
What can you, maybe you can tell us when you joined the struggle? What was your age?
When we joined the struggle that time, they don't matter Kwalmanyang country bore because they can't be with sector 1. Ugulija grew up in Ethiopia, the Madaris. For the Madak, and a Kalisa Umbre, Dagasana. We went to Ethiopia, footing. For the Madana Council care, near my kin were lie. Well, the weather and no more before Mudun I Malaya. Nerwana Bebe open a order. No one cut the Tobia by table. Udamadaka remember I'll get it in Amul Jalamar, a boat and a mammal. Would tab Nilogo, a boat and a malago tabbed. And down on the Gizakaro. Can any European gala by chocolate colo? It's very painful. And another one I remember.
What do you mean to win gala by the colo? And the
gas it because the European them are as they don't add to fight now. And the mom going to shackle down and go to Badun. Because Nathan go, can that's another of a government? What are fighting for? Soldier or land? The land, we have a land. And I remember when we are fighting for that one. It is not as easy because European shackle will come and shackle Barao Savasana. No, I carry my Jalaba by English, could English the Sabasana, my Jalaba. But in India, they get tackle Parao. Because European Kandara Gadam, Bujur Badun become Katua. I Katua, Karo Gadam, United Kirin Katua, Bujurman Barabal, Lakat, Tamarin Katua.
So you are telling us this war, that is going now, is something that come throughout the
yeah, my dad one
the haja the worry sekida
mamikala de kan nadal kan jazede kan bete penat tan mada ta penat kat number 2 Junubin al tanin ma believe on themselves wakana jalaba ma chakal munamul badun barao the German Amul Garib 2013, Maganjal Karamul, Anikaro Kartumba Kura. Umul Badun, the Chakal Goi, by Majalaba Mam Chakal. With you Chakal, Junubin, Anila Basit, Bamul. And you know, the Domata Chakal, the Kanmai, the Bagana Basila Kanamul, Al Chocolate Quiz. But not Kadir, Munamul to Ganam. And now that's still continuing. But you have to let them think about South Sudan, let them think about people of South Sudan. Because we are suffering a lot. Our leader has to think about us. Because it's in May, it is a very important day. I hope to remember back. The one who brought you that freedom. And I made my colleague, my former colleague, my commander, James Kong, and I asked him about peace. And I go the Mandak and I thought, Cape Jim Kalam da Peter Cape. The Mandaka can be Julian Mana quiz with a Maro, the Manda 91 Maria Macha, who peace Cape, who peace magic quiz, but there is European Kirkun person, a general margin queer and go going to Parliament peace. And I thought, well, and there is Salam. The Atwal and Gas and not Kubaran, go to Kabirwa, and go there and Basalo, there is Salam. Because Salam Day is the solution to South Sudanese. Can Salam Mamulo, we are going to be finished, and there will be no South Sudan in future in Africa when we are continuing like this.
Okay, now you're taking me to this question of what's your assessment about this implementation?
You know, that assessment, it needs a lot of work to be done by the government of South Sudan. You know, that peace can you Rudu Bamu Budun Buruj, the white. We will believe ourselves. Number two, kanatu maumbari dolga birkalam gula kalam darabat maafi wayo kekubana gula movement darabat. Ukida espela sign peace damandagde kan 5 months 6 months. I can espela buja to control area well espela bu mobilize. Jay gumi new side wadan. Be kura mi new side lakat damanda kamsin. PA. Algeya you. Gumba kura mi new side. But what happened now? And then Arabat could have Arabat, but sometimes you feed them that army, but let them move. Let them put a location, container area to be done, whatever done. Number two, Akuma can Yabamul Chokol, Kalamul Chokol Al-Basadi, Junupin, but Jim Salam, the Junupin Marawai, because Sigmund de Okabir, Sigmund de Mabasit, Sigmund de Chokol. I can Junupin Bamul Chokol Kanana, my opinion, Gulta Wayel, let Akuma put money in Wayel, the security. I can reform your national army, being Kunjay White, and the chairman of Salva Kiir, Judge Army between Iowa or NAS, whatever, to be one army, one South Sudanese army, South Sudan Defense Force, according to what they changed that time. Because it's too big, you know, SSBC, it's too big, but not a problem. But the problem, it needs the government to put the money of oil to the security sector. Even they can stop money development, even the 10,000 barrels. For that, where they are given to the road, give them 10,000 barrels for the security.
Okay, I think let us go for a break and then we'll be back and continue with our discussions. Welcome back to Let Us Know. This is me, your presenter, Lorwa, and we are discussing with Mr. Peter Atem, who is the former Red Army, and he's one of the persons who joined the struggle, and we are trying to talk about the 16 May, how important it is. Atem, you have talked of, can you tell us about the issue? You have just said 6 months. Are enough. Do you agree about the extension of the 6 months?
You know, we people of South Sudan, we are not agree for 6 months. All of us people of South Sudan. But when the opposition put that thing to be done 6 months, what are you going to do? When I asked our Uncle Riek Machar, they know where we are suffering in South Sudan. They know where our people are suffering in the rural area. The opposition Iowa, they know that we are suffering in South Sudan. People are talking about the security. They said, my security. What about our security? What in a Mataninde? In a security name, security, but I've got another insecurity and I'm out door, I'm over Bentiu by Arabia. I cannot go to Bentiu by a alternative Bentiu Mob Jaini by Arabia. Man of logo and one gunman on the thicker. But when these things are still continuing, and then probably when and then you the security, you know, the white name, I'll not be moved by mind don't mind the dawa. Do you take I can be made a good can be with the dawa. In 6 months, this 6 months, another motto. Because people are kind of hope, but the mind of hope, Danny.
Because we just can I get a book of Mama get another 6 months. That's why I mean both sides between Akuma and the IO. Woman kitchen now when. This is why we need 6 months. It's okay when they agree and I got few people of South Sudan who are making rumors on the street, something happened on 16. Let us to be patient. That 6 months, let us give the government one more chance, 6 months. That 6 months, let us it is tomorrow. It can be finished. It remains 5 months now. Because 6 months, when they say 6 months, it remains 5 months. And that 5 months is like 5 days. Let us be patient. Chana Jan, Robert, the button like the guy, Subur, because the Sabur, one is at the table. Yeah, it's a Jalago freedom in 2011. You come on, it's a not Jack Jackal, when you just have Natani. But they shouldn't, I can't tell me, let us see,
What are your expectations after 6 months?
What we need now, we need the government to put money on security sector. Let government not joke with security. Because you make your army to be one army. One security, one police. Even this community of police to be avoided. You put one national police. Gabel kun fogulo. Then Akuma could grow, invest money on the security because I was citizen. Yet then will protect our land. When you put the money there, think to be the army can be everyone. And number two, a government to put. You use some the other thing, another Akuma, Jakalpe, Udara, the government must pay them command. Because can grow very grow as much as let the government to invest money to other things, even can solve the development in Malta Akuma. Malta Akuma, you take care of them. The army, you put the money in security because they bring food and bring some other thing, vehicle and other thing, make the army paralyze it and make it about to come to judge it among the Nimquet, you read out the God name. What is the God name? You put a few army and put a control area, put it in the barricade. Because command, you create a project to that army. Because army there, you put security like us. The army, you share like us. Because army there, they are everything. They have a mechanic to build farm. Use that army to make protection because the sitting not a solution. But let us sit down, let government put the money to the national dialogue, let government put the money to the security. Because national dialogue wanted the cut between community to community. You can bring a lesson peace. When you bring to community, seem to be okay. Like you bring Dinga and where to the cut, what is the problem? Who is the problem? The Catholic are the same. What is the problem? They are sit down community. They cut the issue. People are right about the border. We know the big border to be medicated between tribe. Want to divide South Sudan people? In the border, Pabieta Tibla Jalava. In the border, Iglita Tibla Jalava. In the border, you know, that's okay, that you know. But let's sit down and live together. And then the Bakasa Yaldino. Can I roll out the ability? Then the Akuma could put it security. No way. I can organize forces to be well trained and built on the form and orient the mind because South Sudan is bigger than anyone. The other can could the security sector, the end of rebellion will end. But when you contain them, one commander in chief, one whatever, they have an order. And accountability about the mission cannot go out. Perimeter can move again. And the best will be United States, Bamul perimeter every week. By Salade, it is a come to Rakabara, we'll let you know. When cousin Tag come cousin Aina, Talgata Kurwin, can't have put Batal to put a second. Can be you GCM to all Bura Talaga, Prasak. Bukatalaga, that you might download the son. I in the songs of when you go to Talga.
Suggest that the same army that you're talking about. The one is
no, the army now, not army than I am back there. Because jail feeder, when you listen that time, 75% can Malaysia. Oh, the Polinomative Bagajeta and in there. na tanganya na mono na la dogori na uncle Kalman Wani. My observer to SLA. And Piraga, the Atala de Git. You will come and tell about Bacalamde. And the Jatala Matoni, Bacam, because I don't know the good other Nagda, Bucam or Tableto. Come on, Mount Talamak. I didn't tell about the gate, and the young Joe Dietana, Bocobel Talaka, Nadamul. Can I give a channel our brother? Welcome back, our brother, who again asked, let them come here and to 1 Sudan belong to them. Because the army need a training. Even if they give army a Polino Mammal training. But when you don't train the army, Kulium, it will give us all the propaganda, they give Pugate to Magali Momon, Mabaja. And then there is an army there, Limuque, or Kalaka, Udiakalamuntamam. And then Muquet, Mount but Alim Zode, oriented. We'll look a day out there. Yago society. But can't we are doing nothing. But their commitment.
Still, you do not answer me. What are your expectations within these 6 months and after 6 months?
Our profession, what we need now, I want to tell you something that let us campaign for all about for peace. Because we can be a better life. Or we can be a free movement. Like me, I cannot do any work now. I cannot go to do road and work. You do your road, your people have been captured, some have been killed. A lot of people in these 2 years. Two men have been killed. And this thing, we need a profession, what we need from the government of South Sudan. We want to, and the IO opposition, let us preach for peace, all of us. Because that peace not belong to self alone. All of us, from anyone, on grassroots or whatever, let us preach for peace. Because we can have a better future. But when we don't preach the peace now, we can have no future. Yeah. That will cannot affect something. We can affect zero. But when we carry out peace, like me now, I'm going to campaign for peace from other people. Probably people are talking, hey, Talpa Mulkade, hey, Muna Mulkade. This was not a blame. We have been cast by God. It's a casting. Because Jena Muna can't get them Bagaba than a mammal. Yalta Chuadani Mayanumon. Yeah, we have been cast. Matanin, and Nachila Bagar Roman